We welcome in the Year of the Dragon at Sha Tin on Monday. A huge meeting. Paul Lally here to preview the race-by-race preview for us, and we get things underway with an earlier start time of 12:30. All races on the turf and the rail in the A-course position. The first is a Class 5, having E-Glory on the class drop and the blinkers going on. Hero Icon has a new home. He's now with Cody Moe, who's added cheek pieces. Time Storm, blinkers off, visor is on. Great days. He was closer last time. Millennium Falcons placed 2 from 5 at course and distance in Devil and Gold. First ride in Hong Kong for Ben Thompson, who makes his debut in the territory at this meeting. The visor is off Devil and Gold. Now the pace here, Paul, has Happy Tango leading, but he hasn't been as strong at Sha Tin as what he has been at Happy Valley.
No, and I think he can lead. Sweet Diamond, he can go forward, the good deal. Millennium Falcon, he can get a nice run just in behind. Get the monies, great days. Back to Devon and Gold, and I think Rattan World, he's just going to have to go all the way to the back.
He was good enough to win last time at Rattan World, and here is the victory. He goes up £8 for this win. Sweet Diamond runs second to him, so does meet him better at the weights, going up 5. And Millennium Falcon, he was right in the market and gave a good side up outside the speed.
Yeah, he's a well-rated horse now, a Millennium Falcon, and he ran really well. Look, I like all three of these, the first three home. Sweet Diamond, he had his opportunity here. He does meet them better at the weights. But I thought it was a nice win here from the Rattan World, and I think he can go on and win again. So you can see him, he was well off the pace, and he did run past the other two nicely and right on the line. But all three of these horses, I think, are legitimate chances.
All right, so the same three make it into Paul's selections for race number 1. Our second replay does feature the likely leader in the race in Happy Tango. He didn't lead this night. He ended up about midfield on the rail, as we see here. But his formers at Happy Valley are on the all-weather so far.
Yeah, look, I don't like him in this race. He's drawn 11, so when he does draw wide, he just presses on, and he normally tries to get to the front. So I think he'll lead for a period of the race, but I don't think this is his race.
We'll save him for another day. Happy Tango. One more to have a look at to kick things off on Monday, and that is Smart Leader. We haven't seen him for a while. In fact, we haven't seen him since the 19th of November. Had blood in the trachea last time. Lost the rider at the start 2 back. He's had 3 trials since. This one he ran second behind Wind Cheetah, who runs later in the program.
Yeah, horse out of form, 3 starts, 3 wins from 69 starts. Chris So, Keegan DeMilo, not for me.
All right. We'll leave him exactly where we left Happy Tango in our third replay, and we'll see if Wind Cheetah makes it in off the back of that trial when we get to his race a little bit later on. All right, so we know there's 3 in out of the first replay. Stop keeping us waiting. Who's the other one?
Yeah, we only needed to show that first one. So on top for me, I'm going to go with Rattan World to beat Millennium Falcon. I'm going to put Hero Icon in as well. Look, this horse has been downgraded. He's always showing something in Class 4. He's drawn a little bit awkwardly in barrier 10, but with the cheek pieces on, his work's been good leading into it, and then Sweet Diamond. So end up with 4, 13, 5 and 7.
Zach Purton and Jamie Richards to win the first of 11 on Monday. Further Class 5 racing in the second at Sha Tin. It's over the 1,400 metres, and they line up as follows, with a firm at the top on the class drop. Kazi Farazi pacifiers off, blinkers go on. He's a 6-time course and distance winner. Speed Stars on an 8-day backup. We've got Mulan having had a couple of trials since we last saw her race, and she goes up in trip. Apex Top's a 3-time course and distance winner. Master of Luck, blinkers off. First start for Mark Newnham also for the 11, and Smart Beauty and Chunwan Glory are both last start winners. The pace here, Paul, has Beat Hollow from a good draw leading, thus scooting through to keep out a firm and Apex Top.
Yeah, because those two have drawn wide. They'll come across together. Speedster can come from barrier 6 and get into a nice enough position. Sonic Boom, he should get a really good position. Compulsory will try and slot in there somewhere. Nordic Combine goes back. Mulan goes back. And Smart Beauty, he's raced really well when he goes back.
We're going to have a look at Smart Beauty a couple of times, actually, and the first one is the placing behind Chunwan Glory. We'll see the win shortly. Just ended up in a great spot, Chunwan Glory here. Diamond, this is 1,400 metres, so he'll come back in trip from the 1,600 that we see in the replay after this one.
Yeah, the key with this horse is he's been downgraded into Class 5 Diamond, and he's run third and second. So I think a win for him is very close. Smart Beauty's been racing really well. It looks a different horse, which is hard to say for rating 25 horse since he's been getting back, because he's now won and he's been placed in here. So both these two horses in this particular grade are going really well at the moment.
They sure are, and that race was on the 13th of January. Since then, we head now to the 28th of January, and there's Smart Beauty. Just has to work his way through in between runners, and Diamond out wider. So can they keep up this form again back to the 1400?
I think they can. I think both horses can. Look, Diamond looked like he was going to win here. He's by So You Think, so you thought the 1600 would be fine, and he just got outbobbed there in the end by the eventual winner, which was Smart Beauty. So, yeah, they both go in for me.
And Affirm, Paul, he was better when he stepped up in trip at Happy Valley to the 1650. He ended up running third, then a ninth behind Red Hair King. He comes to Class 5 for the first time. He's been up to Chung Fa and he's run fourth in this trial.
Yeah, he's got to carry the big weight with a wide draw. So that was the little query I had with him. Look, his best run is a third 2 starts ago. That was a Happy Valley. He's been to Sha Tin on 3 occasions and done absolutely nothing. So as such, I've left him out.
All right, so we'll leave him where he is, but there's a few of the others that we've seen in those replays for race number 2 that are going to make it in.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Diamond. I'll stick with him. I've been with this horse for his last couple of starts since he's been down there. Kazi Farazi, look, he's Class 3 winner. He's got blinkers back on. He's coming down to the bottom grade here for the first time. Smart Beauty, we saw that. And Sonic Boom just off the speed map. He's got Zach Purton aboard as well. It was a better run from him last time, and he should get a really nice run. 5-3, 12-7.
The Jerry Chow Benno Yung combination in the money for Paul for race number 2. Interesting race coming up, race number 3. Number of lightly raced horses, or indeed first starters in this. We've got Partia, who is going to be 25-start veteran after this race. He's on the class drop. Patch of Theta, 3 starts for 3 placings. We've got Mario having his first start, 4 trials. Mastermind, third on debut. First starters, Packing Wisher and Super Glory. Golden Links coming back from the 1650 at Happy Valley last time. Patch of Watch, the shadow roll goes on, the tongue tie comes off. Sight Victory wears a crossover noseband, and Urban Triumph. Visor off, cheek pieces on, now with Cody Moe, formerly with Chris So. So a number of changes for the third, Paul, but Super Glory is going to lead here from barrier number 13, but he has shown good speed in his trials.
He has. There's no real pace from the horses that have raced, so I think he can get across and lead. Partia is probably the one closest. Fung, I think, can get himself into a nice position. He showed a little bit of speed on his debut. Sight Victory seems to be on the improve. Jazz Club ran well over 1,000 last time, and Spicy Gold, I think, be a lot closer. He's finally drawn a barrier, this horse.
He has indeed. We'll have a look at him in closer depth shortly. That we start, though, with Patch of Theta. Now, there's Patch of Watch and Patch of Theta in this race if you're having a bet, so just be aware and don't get them mixed up. But of the two, this is Patch of Theta, Paul. Hasn't done much on race day, Patch of Watch. He did trial very well since, but on race day form, this one far superior. Yeah,
he looks that way, doesn't he? Patch of Theta, he's been placed in all 3 starts here, and he's drawn barrier 10 last time, was wide all the way. Unfortunately for him, he's drawn barrier 12 on this occasion as well, so he's going to find it tough. But you can see he's definitely got a level of ability, because he ran really well, and he has run well on all 3 starts.
Placed behind Champion Instinct, Hong Kong Hall and James Tack. This is Mastermind, who has been up to Chung Fa, went back to last. One of the apprentices rode, so carried no weight in this trial, but very slick down the home straight.
Yeah, really nice trial from this horse. He went really well on debut as well. He got a long way back. He sort of was slightly slow out, or he got sort of buffeted it, and as such, he had that little bit of a sort of getting a little bit further back than he would like. He's coming up to Chung Fa for the spell he's trialled. Zach Purton aboard. So look, he looks tough to beat on what we've seen.
And Yoda's Choice, who ran third in that trial, came out at Sha Tin on Friday morning, trialled very impressively. This is Super Glory. He's had 7 trials. This is a second. He was just run down late behind Chateau Neuf, but wasn't asked to do too much in this.
Yeah, I think Chateau Neuf, I'm waiting for him to start. He's a first starter by Fastnet Rock. But look, a good run here from the deep field horse, Super Glory. Cheek pieces on for his debut run. Again, an awkward draw, barrier 13. But look, I don't think there's any other leader in the race, so he should be able to get across. Just how much work he has to do earlier on.
That is a look at runners in race number 3. Who are your top 4?
I'm going to go with Mastermind on the back of his debut run, and that really good trial from him. Patch of Theodore just needs some luck. Spicy Gold, I think he's going to need a little bit of... he's going to be a lot closer in the run from a lot better barrier draw. Did go really well on his debut. And Sight Victory, he's on the improve as well, and he's had plenty of runs, so he'll be very fit leading into it. 6, 3, 10, 12.
And if you're a treble punter, race number 3 is the first leg of the early treble. Paul is keen on one in race number 4. We'll find out who that is very, very shortly. But there is a last start winner as horse number 1. It is Run Timing. He goes up £6. Super Goldie has a win and a third from me. He's 2 starts so far. Star Club comes back in trip. Must Go has the tongue tie going on. First starters Autumn Delight and Glory Elite. Le Mayo Jaune has the blinkers off and the cheek pieces going on. Wind Cheater was scratched on the 7th of January. He's trialled very well since. Patch of Kingdom wears a tongue tie. And the 14 Hardy Wish blinkers and the tongue tie have both been removed. Glory Elite, Paul, he has had those 4 trials, led in his last 2 of them. Wind Cheater has shown speed and Run Timing sits outside of them. Yeah,
exactly. So both those 2 horses, but I thought Glory Elite might just have the superior gate speed to cross Wind Cheater. What I've seen in the trials anyway. Run Timing, he'll have to come across from a wide draw. He'll put himself there. Other first starters there, Telecom Bullet, he'll be midfield, and the rest of the field generally get back, so they'll be towards the back.
Interview time for the first with Nick. Run Timing is the horse. The rider, it's a Bentley. Yes, it's Harry Bentley.
Harry, Run Timing, putting a nice performance last time for you off the front, and he was very good.
Yeah, he was. I liked him when I trialled him before his first ever run, and he seems a progressive type. He stuck it out nicely in front last time.
Showed some really good speed as well, obviously, unlike what he was doing in a couple of runs prior, so I guess he's a very versatile horse as well.
That's right. I think the plan wasn't always to go forward on him, but the draw just meant that I needed to get up there into a handy position and just found myself in front, but he was quite happy to be there.
I'd imagine it might be a bit of the same again, but 13, how does that compromise sort of his racing pattern?
It's far from ideal, but I think we'll just have to go forward and try and slot into a handy position, and look, if he ends up in front again, it's not the end of the world.
And there is Harry Bentley. Paul's speed map has him right on the pace, just outside the leader. Super Goldie, Paul, you've been with him a couple of times. He was good to you on debut, and he makes up a lot of late ground. Here we go again. Yeah,
I like this horse. I think he's got plenty of ability. He's still ahead of the handicapper. Now, he's not the biggest horse around, one of the ISGs. He's by Tavistock, so once we see him even up further in distance, it's going to really suit this horse. He was momentarily held up there. He'll need a little bit of luck in running from his draw, but look, once he got in the clear, you can see him. He's dwarfed next to Geneva, who's a big horse there. That's the number 3, and he's been going really well. I like the way he was making up ground, and with any sort of luck, I think he can win this.
And that is a good push for Super Goldie. That means we're playing placings only. Does Wind Cheater make it in? He'd had a number of trials. They couldn't get the bridle on him on the 7th of January, so much so he was scratched. He has been slick on the all-weather since. Did he make it in?
I put him in on a minor line, yeah, a Wind Cheater, but he's obviously got his quirks, isn't he? Because they couldn't get the bridle on debut. But look, the trial was good here on the all-weather, so he's obviously got ability. It's just... let's see what happens on the day. Hopefully he doesn't work himself up too much in the parade ring.
Absolutely, and there will be a massive crowd around the parade ring as well at this meeting. But you're sticking solid with Super Goldie.
Yeah, with Super Goldie. He's on top here. I do like this horse, so we'll put him on top to beat Glory Elite, one of the first starters there. He's had 4 trials to get him ready. I think he'll lead, so he can take some picking back. Run Timing in there for 3rd, and Wind Cheater for 4th. 2, 6, 1, 10.
Super Goldie to make it 2 wins from 3 starts for Paul in race number 4. It is race number 5 time now, and this is the field for this Class 4 over the 1600 metres with Flying Mojito having the visor going on for the first time. Winning data. First look at 1600 for him. He has raced over the 1650 and placed at Happy Valley. Master Hero cheek pieces off, visor added. Lucky Eternity has placed 5 from 9 course and distance. Pinghai Comet has had 12 trials. Robot Fighter has the blinkers going on. Super Contented in great form. Comes back in trip after winning over the 1800 at the Valley. Divas 12 He's going past the 1400 for the first time in his career, and Strongest Boy's last 4 starts have been at Happy Valley, but once again he comes up with a wide draw, does Strongest Boy. The pace here, Paul, from Pinghai Comet, who's certainly improved in those stack of trials since he's been stepped up to the mile in the trials by John.
He's looked strong leading those 2 trials. I think Super Contented will eventually get across, and he might even get to the lead. Super Contented, Winning Data will put himself there. Lucky Eternity, he should get a lovely run just in behind. Me Time, likewise. Again, the rest get back. Master Hero and Divas 12. They'll probably just try and slot it.
Lucky Eternity is in our first replay. Has a good draw of barrier number 1. He runs 3rd here behind Holy Lake last time. Angus takes a £5 claim, so 3 less on his back than in this race. Robot Fighter's only had the 3 starts. He would need to improve, and Winning Steps above him. He's a horse that has won over the 1800.
Yeah, he has. So I prefer him over the longer trip, Winning Steps. Look, of these, Lucky Eternity, he should get his opportunity. He should be in a very similar position. I thought he was entitled to win this race. I mean, he was momentarily held up and he did go on. He's still 11 start maiden. That was just a little concern I had.
That is our first replay. The second one features Super Contented, who has just found form and been able to hold it quite well. This is over 1800, this win at Happy Valley. Comes back to Sha Tin. It's a track where he is yet to win it, but he has placed, and Strongest Boy, well, they've had their hand forced because wide draws means he just has to keep going back.
Yeah, so he's going to have to go back again. His better runs have been here at Happy Valley. Super Contented, yeah, the Sha Tin record put me off a little bit because he's had 8 goes here at Sha Tin, just 1 placing of those 8.
Circuit 9 did something he doesn't normally do, and he jumped really well last time and ended up 3 back the rail. He's finished 3rd in this race, but the start still has to be some sort of concern with him, doesn't it? Yeah,
he's always a risk, this horse, so you just sort of hold your hat in your mouth and see what happens at the start. But look, he's definitely got ability, there's no question. He looked a really good Griffin when he was younger, won his first couple of starts here, but he's got all his quirks. I think he's a bit of a thinker, this horse.
All right, Sunlight Power, who beats him home there, has won and won well since that race. But again, the barriers do cause him concern. Circuit 9, this horse, you've been all over him lately. Winning Data, he's been very good to you. He's won 2 from his last 4, and the 2 that he didn't win, he ran 2nd. Any concerns step up in trip?
No, I think it's good for him. The way he raced here, he stayed on really well, I thought. Look, he was no match for the winner here, who got the perfect run in front, Araki Summit. But he was well clear in 2nd, and he kept chasing, which is something that I did like with him. And as such, I like the way he finished off the race. So look, I'm going to stick with him. He's going nicely at the moment, as you say. He's in really good form at the moment and did manage to hold off the rest. So it was a good run from him, I thought.
Sticking solid. Winning Data, it is again.
Yep, so he's going to go on top for me. Winning Data, a nice run from him, and he's been in good form. Look, a horse we haven't talked about is Pinghai Comet. He's had 12 trials, and he looked pretty ordinary in the first few, but he's just got better and better, and he's won his last few trials, and he has got a bit of pace. So from barrier 11, I wouldn't be surprised if the Son of Morris went straight to the front over the 1600. Flying Mojito ran well in this grade last time, and Divas 12 caught the eye, finishing off strongly. 2-6-1-11.
Race number 5 is also the first leg of Monday's Triple Trio. Race 6 is the Lucky Star Handicap. We're going to preview that for you right now. Over the 1400 metres it is, and Satanta's won this grade off a rating of 59. Bonus Power blinkers off, visor goes on. Happy Daily has the tongue tie being added. Forerunner now with Cody Moe, tongue tie goes on him. Volcanic Spark, a last start winner, carries an extra £3 for it. First start of Voyage Samurai, 5 trials. Mr Maestro wears blinkers for the first time. Smart Folks has a hood going on. Mr Good Vibes is on a backup from last Sunday. Now the pace, Paul double win. Voyage Samurai is showing pace in his trial, and Smart Folks, he always goes forward, certainly on the all-weather too, but back on the turf over the 1400.
Yeah, he likes to go forward on the turf, but sometimes he just sticks wide, and he normally sticks on as well. I thought Winning Hard would be a lot closer from a better draw. Mr Good Vibes jumped really well last time with blinkers on for the first time. Mr Maestro's got blinkers on. Volcanic Spark might have to go back from that wide draw. Invincible Lucky went back on his debut.
Nick is back this time talking to the trainer of Invincible Lucky. It is Mark Newton.
Mark Noonan, you've got some nice horses running on Monday's card. One of them has already had a start. That's Invincible Lucky. That was a really good run on debut.
Yeah, look, he's shown us a bit in his work in his trials. He took a while to get balance, but he found the line strongly.
You've stepped him up in trip quite quickly. Obviously, he's up to 14 now. Is that always the plan with him?
Yeah, look, I think his best is going to be at 1600, maybe even a little bit further. So I think the tempo of a 1400 will just help him travel through the early stages of the race.
I guess talking of that tempo, obviously what he was able to do late on in his race on debut was obviously very encouraging, and I imagine you'd be expecting a bit the same if there is a good pace on.
Yeah, and look, where he's drawn, he's going to have to give them a start, so he'll go back. But look, if he gets a good draw into the race, she'll be a strong late.
You've given him a trial since as well. He looked to come through that trial nicely. Were you happy with that?
Yeah, and look, being a month between runs, he just needed to stay up to the mark. So no, he trialled nicely, and he's improved. Every week I've had him here, he's improved a little bit each week.
And we will see the horse that beat him earlier in the meeting to run time and can get a gauge on that form. Here's Golden Rise, Paul. It took him a little while to get the job done, but he ends up doing it in this race, and he was too good for River Views. Wider draw, he goes out from barrier 2 to barrier 13, carries an extra £6, but he's gone the right way.
He definitely gone the right way, but it was a perfect ride here from Zach and came out at the right time and won really, really nicely. So, look, a good win from him. I'm going to put him in, but just on a minor line with that increase in weight and a lot worse draw. He's got a draw 13. So, again, he just might be a little bit further back than he would like.
2 starts over the 1400 for that win and also a placing. Winning form also from Volcanic Spark. He was a horse that was luckless 2 starts ago when 6th behind Fighting Machine. Managed to get the job done here. He goes up £3 in weight courtesy of that claim for Matthew Poon, but like Golden Rise, he's drawn wider out in barrier 14.
Yes, he's going to have to go all the way back. He's another one I'm going to put in, though, because it was a strong win from him. But again, on the minor line, you can see him threading his way through. Again, it was a really good ride from him. So a nice win from this horse. And I think there's plenty more to come, but he's just going to have to do it a bit tough from that wide draw.
It's the widest draw he's had so far. He's had 4-1 and that win from barrier 2 last time in his 3 starts. We head down the straight now, and Mr. Good Vibes raced over the 1,000 metres last weekend, so an 8-day backup for him. He goes to the 1,400 metres. He draws barrier number 1, and the way he runs on here, the further the better, won't it be?
Yeah, by El Rocker, I think he'll be better over 16 as well. But look, this is 1,000 metres. I thought he could almost win about here. He was really finishing off the race strongly. This was the first start in blinkers, so I think the blinkers really helped this horse. Didn't give it away at all. So from barrier 1, I quite like him, even though he's on this 41 rating.
That is a good report. And what have you made of the first starter, Voyage Samurai, who leads for home here? In his trials so far, he has won this one, also ran 4th behind Adafil and 2nd behind Casa Papa. But in most trials, the rider's been at him down the straight.
He has, and he's by Dissident. So Dissident horses are normally 1,600 metres plus. So here starting over 1,400 metres. Look, I was just happy to watch him. But he keeps fighting. He looks like a stayer, though, doesn't he? Just the way he trials.
He does. The horse in the purple on the outside is Helios Express too, who's come out and won the Classic Mile since that race. But have you got the vibe?
Yeah, I'm going with him, Mr. Good Vibes. Stepping up in trip, 1,400 metres for the first time with a lightweight. I'm going to put Winning Hard in. It was a lot better run from him. He ran 4th at his last start. Then the 2, likely to be in the market, but drawn wide, Volcanic Spark and Golden Rise. So 14, 12, 6 and 3.
That is race number 6. It is the first leg of the 6-up. Spinning up race number 7 preview now, and good field coming up here. I'm a Single Man at the top of the book. He's looking to recapture some form. Super Fortune, though, is a 3-time course and distance winner. Joyful Hunter has the cross nose band off, the tongue tie going on, and comes back in trip. Kaying Rising has been narrowly beaten by Wunderbar at his last 2 starts. Armour War Eagle back to the 1,200 metres. 80 Light Years hasn't missed a top 3 spot all season. Captain Win pacifiers with cows and tongue tie off. Blinkers go on him. Good Luck wins a first starter in Hong Kong. He won over the 1,400 at Geelong prior to arriving. And Show Respect down the bottom is minus the hood. Now the speed here, Paul Super Fortune goes forward, so does Massive Action, so they should get along at a pretty good tempo in this race.
They both like to lead, don't they? Ladies' Choice likes to go forward. He could just be trapped a bit wide. 80 Light Years likes to go forward. Kaying Rising likes to lead as well. So there is going to be good pace in this race. Solar Partner, Show Respect should get nice runs. I'm a Single Man. What do they do with him from 12? I think they'll go back.
And he is drawn, as Paul said, in barrier number 12, I'm a Single Man. But Kaying Rising, David Hayes must have been ecstatic when the noms came out for this race and the name Wunderbar did not appear in them.
Yeah, they've had a couple of good battles, these two horses, and they've been sort of a class above their opposition too. Look, I think Kaying Rising can win this race. He's been going so well recently, and he's only been beaten on the bob both times by a really nice horse in Wunderbar. So I think this is the right race for him. It just depends if he should get a bit of pace in the race with those two horses that like to lead, and if he's happy enough to sit behind them, then I think he can just sort of pounce late. But he's going so well at the moment.
And Ace Victory, who was just grabbed for third there, running fourth, has won on the class drop since that race, and the horse that grabbed him ready to win's in on Wednesday night at the Valley. Replay number 2, 80 Light Years. He went down on the class drop 2 starts ago and beat Champion Instinct, and then brought it back up and was placed here behind Gorgeous Win in a strong field. Draws out in 9, couple off for Jerry Chow, but he's certainly racing well.
He is, and of course Champion Instinct's come out and won again since, or has come out and won since. So the form looks rock solid. I like the way he's been racing this horse at the moment. So yeah, he definitely goes in for me, and it was a really nice second here behind that Gorgeous Win, and you can see him finishing off. You know, they were well clear of anything else, weren't they?
They were miles in front, that's for sure. That pair. One more to have a look at. It's the Enigma, Captain Win, who has promised to deliver so much, and yet he's still only won once since he's been here in Hong Kong. That was at big odds at around 15 to 1. We haven't seen him since running 13th behind Perfect Team, but Pierre's kept the work up to him. He's had the 3 trials.
Yeah, blinkers on, back on him, barrier 10 though. I mean, when he did win that race, I think it was one of his first couple of starts that he was here, and it was he did go back and finish off strongly. I'm happy to watch him fresh up.
That is a look at the replays in race number 7, but it's Wunderbar. There is no Wunderbar for Kaying Rising.
Yes, I think Kaying Rising can win this race without the Wunderbar in the race. So he's on top. Joyful Hunter, you talk about enigmas. He either wins and looks very, very impressive, or he looks a little bit ordinary, but he ran on nicely for 4th behind Amazing Duck last start. 80 Light Years and Super Fortune, 4-3-8-2.
It's a good race. It's race number 7, and start time for it is 3:35. Feature race is race number 8, the trophy race, the Class 1, the running of the Chinese New Year Cup. Just a field of 6 to run here. Courier Wonder, Duke Wise, Super Wealthy, all out of Group 1 racing at their last start. Red Line comes up from Class 2 to Class 1. Running Glory will have his first start for David Hayes, and David's put the blinkers on. And Mugen has had 4 starts this season. He's won 3 of them and placed the other time. So a good to slow tempo here, Paul, with pretty much just a dash home being a small field, you'd think.
You think so? Red Line trying to dictate from front, I thought. Super Wealthy, he's back up to 1,400 metres, but he's not really a leader. Courier Wonder used to lead in his earlier career starts, but I see he's probably likely to be more forward than Duke Y, Mugen and Running Glory, who generally do like to get back.
Here is Mugen, such a high-speed horse. He's best save for 1 run at them, and here he's in the last 3 or 4 as they come towards the home turn, and he'll just duck and weave through the centre. And Red Line also in this race, but just that turn of foot he's got is electric.
It's really good, isn't it? And look, Karras had a chance here to stop and wave to the crowd halfway down the straight. Once he got, like here, you're thinking, oh, is he going to get there? But once he got through that gap, and he was happy to weave through, about now was sort of never in doubt, was it? He's really got there easily in the end, and you can see he had time to pull up. So a really nice win from him.
Yeah, pinned the ears back and just went bang, did Mugen. Red Line likely going to be the biggest danger to him if the form stands up in the race. This is a trial at Sha Tin since his last start. He ran 5th behind Mugen in that race we just saw. Sat wide in this trial, runs home nicely behind Golden Long.
Typical John Size trials, sits out wide, runs on nicely. A good trial from him. He's going well at the moment. He looks the biggest danger. And I think his biggest chance is just trying to dictate in front, set up slowest sectionals and sprint off the front. I think that's his best chance, Red Line, because but he is going well at the moment.
He has won in this grade 2, won the Hong Kong Macau Trophy over this trip of 1,400 metres. And last up, two more of Pierre Ong's. He has Mugen and also has Duquai and Super Wealthy. This is the Bohemia Sprint Trophy last time, where he ran 5th. Duquai has finished down the track in Group 1 company since, and Super Wealthy ran 6th.
Yeah, neither of these horses are really 1,400 metre horses. I know Super Wealthy's won, but he hasn't raced over it since the 21 season. So that's just a query. And Duquai's so honest. You know, you sort of have to include him because he always gives you a sight, and he's been a real good servant to his owners. So of the two, Duquai is the one I'm going to put in.
Slight gear change too with Duquai. Pacifiers with cows off and the pacifiers go on. But Mugen simply too fast for them?
I think so. All it depends is Red Lion, if he can get away cheap sectionals in front, but 6 to beat 4 for me. Then Duquai and Running Glory's won a couple of times over this distance. New stable, and had Blinkers back on. Oh, Blinkers on for the first time, so see if that sharpens him up a bit. 6-4-2-5.
Karis Teaton and Pierre Ong. It might not be the only time they're on top of Paul's selections, but they certainly are to win race number 8. Red Packet Handicap is race number 9. They'll be out in abundance over the next week or so in Hong Kong. The Red Packets, and Sweden Counters a last start winner, but with the extended rating ban, actually carries less than the last start win. Unbelievable is on debut for Frankie Law. Huge Wave is on debut for Jimmy Ting. Master of Fortune, Blinkers off. Pacifiers with Cowls go on. Holy Lake comes into Class 3 for the first time on the back of that victory at his last start. Soleil Fighter is Karis Teaton and David Hayes. We've got 18 Carrot, who needs to improve. Silver Up's placed his last 2, and I Keep Winning has the pacifiers going on. I Keep Winning has been leading, Paul, and then knocking up.
He has, but look, I don't think there's another leader in the race, so he'll try and do some slow sectionals here. Holy Lake will get a lovely run, and he did last time when he won. Silver Up, he's gone forward in his starts. 18 Carrot. Master of Fortune. The Air will just need some luck from his wide draw, as will California Voce. Sweet Encounter, I think, will go back.
Here is Nick now with the trainer of Unbelievable, Frankie Law. He arrives as a very well-bred, well-credentialed horse.
Frankie, some really nice horses running on Monday's card as fully expected. And you've got probably one of the most interesting by the name of Unbelievable. Now, he's the artist formerly known as Bertinelli. How has he settled in? He's got some good form from Europe.
Yeah, before the horse arrives in my stable, everything looks fine. I want to try him on early of December, but unfortunately he have temperature at that time, so I need to wait a little bit. Until now, I just can start to race him. Yeah.
What about the trials with him, Frankie? I mean, I had a look at his most recent one. He ran 5th, but he made up some nice ground from the back of the field. I guess, if anything, the distance in a trial is always going to be too short for him.
Of course, 1,200 too short for him. I think that's why I put in 1,600 the first start. I think he need more ground later on, yeah.
You've kept him a colt as well. Has that always sort of been the plan? I mean, it's a little bit unusual for Hong Kong, but you know, he is still a colt. Is he a nice horse to deal with?
He's a nice horse because I don't want to waste the time. So maybe after this season, think about maybe get him, yeah.
What has your rider Derek Leung made of him? I mean, obviously we know he's got that nice form. Has he been quite positive about him?
Yeah. He tried 2 times. He also, the first time he okay. The second time he tell me he's improved. But you know, 1,200 on the depth maybe can't see too much. Yeah.
And I guess obviously naturally I must ask you, Frankie. Obviously the main target. There is a big target with him, of course, a Hong Kong Derby. I'm sure. I mean, he comes through this. I guess sights are very much set on that race. Would that be fair?
Yeah. You can see his forms 2000, sure, no problem. Later on, maybe he can 2004, yeah. And I tried to make him in the Derby because he's weighing 80, and then if he can get more weighting, should be sure he can get into the Derby, yeah.
There is Frankie Law talking Unbelievable ahead of his Hong Kong debut, but he's going to have to beat some horses which have had plenty of starts, so they're rock hard race fit, including this horse, Sweet Encounter. Paul gets in really well with the extended rating ban, but he's going to have to do it from barrier 13 again, just like he did in this replay.
Yeah, so he came wide and did win and managed to beat Flamingo Trillion right on the post. As you say, the rating band suits him, so he does come in slightly better. I'm going to include him again. Again, he's going to have to, but I've got a couple to beat him in this.
Two-time winner course and distance. Zach Stick's on board. He's been on board him for 3 of his 5 victories so far, and holds off Flamingo Chile. And that's Star Mac driving through in the centre. And of course, he came out placed in the Classic Mile last weekend. Replay number 2 has the Air, who's promised to deliver. He just can't quite get there. He keeps finding one to beat him. He ran a second here behind a smart one in Storm Rider. He's in that grade where he's going to meet good horses, but he's racing well. And, you know, on the little grey Silver Up, just trying to work into the clear, and he's just getting out now.
Yeah, and I thought he's run really well. He's outrun his odds. He's been a big price in all 3 starts here, Silver Up, but I thought it was a really nice run. The Air, look, he ran well, and I'm going to include him as the Air, but the thing with him is he's drawn a lot awkwardly here in barrier number 12, so he drew barrier 1 here. So I think Silver Up can actually beat the Air home in this race.
And we'll see Storm Rider run in a later race on the program. Our next replay is also our final replay. It's Holy Lake, who just keeps going very well. He does have to prove himself in Class 3 for the first time here, but you can't fault him, Paul. He's won 3 from his last 4.
He has. I just wonder if he's reached his mark, though. I mean, I must admit, I thought that after those 2 wins, because he had 2 wins and then he did run behind athleticism, sort of midfield. But then he's come out. He had the perfect run here. He's drawn barrier 5, so there is the opportunity he's going to get a similar type of run. It's just whether he can keep winning. I wasn't so sure. So I was happy to watch him. But look, he can only win.
He can indeed, and he's been doing that with regularity. What are your selections, though, for race number 9?
Going to go with the grey horse here, which is Silver Up. All his runs in Hong Kong have been good. California Voce, he ran on really strongly last time at Happy Valley. I think he's better suited coming back here to Sha Tin, Sweet Encounter and the Air, 12, 5, 1 and 7.
That is race number 9, and being an 11 race program, race number 9 is the first leg of the late treble. This a quality race. Race number 10, headlined by Galaxy Patch. He'll be horse number 5. It's a Class 2 over the 1,200 metres, packing treadmill out of the Centenary Sprint Cup last time. How Deep As You Love raced in the Classic Mile last week. Invincible Sage is placed 2 from 2 course and distance. Majestic Night, last start winner at Happy Valley, goes up £4 for it. Bundle of Charm, a winner last weekend, has the pacifiers off. And Lucky Encounter, a little luckless at his last 2 outings since winning 3 and 4 starts ago. Majestic Night, Paul, he's been burning up the valley and he's going to burn up the leader around Sha Tin.
He likes to lead this horse and he goes really well in the front, so I can see him leading. Packing Treadmill is down in grade. I think he'll be a bit closer. Bundle of Charm will need some luck from a wide draw. Did one on the all-weather last start. Lucky Encounter should get a good run. Astrologer he's with Manfred Mann now. He should be 3 back there. Now the 3 main horses, or 2 of them 3 main horses in the race, Galaxy Patch, Invincible Sage and Flying Ace, all get back, but they should get pace of Majestic Night in there.
Nick is back to talk to the rider of Invincible Sage. This week it's Alexi Bedell.
Alexi, Invincible Sage is a horse that you're going to ride on Monday. Obviously some really good racing. This is a good race, the 10th. And well, last time out you ran a really nice race down the straight.
Yes, indeed. He seems to be in good form. Last time was a great run. The question mark is course and distance, but I believe he's going to be okay. If the pace is good enough, he should be able to finish.
I know it's probably a hard question to answer for you. I mean, you've never ridden him over this trip, but he has had a couple of goes and he's run well. So I guess that would fill you with a bit of confidence.
I think so, especially now he seems to be more mature. He's got a certain amount of experience. So I believe he should adapt well, even though he seems to be great over the 1,000 meter straight. But I think he is certainly in good form, and I expect him to run a good race.
Yeah, you mentioned that form, of course. Victor, the winner, came out of that race last time out. You've ridden him in a bit of track work since. Has he felt good since the Bohemia Trophy?
Yes, he looks fit and healthy. I'm very pleased with his gallop recently, so nothing wrong with the horse. He looks in good form. I think, I'm happy to ride him.
He's drawn in 8, Alexi. Drawn in 9 next year is Galaxy Patch, of course, potentially the one that you've got to beat and they've all got to beat. So I guess you'll be keen not to let him get out of your sights too far.
Well, I'm not really concerned about his position in the field. I will more look into the right spot for my horse and relax him and allow him to finish. He seems to have a good turn of foot when you wait. I think he needs a bit of patience, so I'll try to put him asleep and hit the line strong enough to win the race.
And that is Lexi. This is our first replay, Paul. It's Flying Ace last time. Won a huge race in the Group 1. Packing Treadmill ran 9th. He's got a good record, 1,200 metres packing treadmill, and Flying Ace has had rather a luckless season, but this was big.
It was huge because it was a slow pace. I mean, Victor the winner really stacked them up. And you can see Lucky Swayness behind him, and he actually ran past Lucky Swayness. These two horses ran on really strongly from the back. He ended up 5th in this race. I think he's the biggest danger, Flying Ace. He's going really nicely at the moment, and it was a strong win, and he did beat Lucky Swayness home.
He did indeed, and Zach Purton rides a Flying Ace for David Hall in this, but the horse they all have to beat, Paul, has to be Galaxy Patch, doesn't it? This is him winning on the 13th of January. He's won and beaten Invincible Sage in a trial since. Lucky Encounter runs 3rd. Out of this race, Bundle of Charm has won. Gummy Gummy ran 2nd to Bundle of Charm in the last race on Sunday, but can they beat Galaxy Patch?
I don't think they can. I mean, I think the one that's a chance is probably the lucky horse, Lucky Encounter, who did run 3rd in this race. But look, it's like Mugen, it's another Pia Ung horse. He's very progressive, still going through the grades, and you can just see him really having a good turn of foot. He's unbeaten on the turf. You know, I do think he's got so many rating points in hand. So, like, he's the one for me. I am going to include Lucky Encounter on a minor line, but gee, he won so well, didn't he?
He did. Pricks the ears, eased down to the post, and as you said, much like Mugen, so it's Carriston Pierre again.
Yep, he's going to go on top, definitely for me, which is Galaxy Patch to beat Flying Ace, Lucky Encounter. And I've got to put Majestic Knight in because he's going to be in the right place in the front and see if he can dictate from there. 5-2, 13-8.
You can go the all-ups, race 8, number 6, Mugen, into race 10, number 5, Galaxy Patch, and try and multiply your money. Race number 11, good field coming up here as well, but there is a scratching for it. Out is Winner Method, in comes Super Winner. Jerry Chow rides him for Dennis Ship. Class 3, 1,400 to finish the meeting. Blue Marlin last start winner carries an extra £7. Storm Rider cops a wide draw again, but he's won 2 from 3. Karma's a 2-time course and distance winner. Superb Kid, last start winner, comes up in grade. Giddy Up has the hood coming off, and Talent's Ambition makes his Hong Kong debut for Mark Newnham. Speed map, Paul, E-Legend and Super Winner coming into the race will have sped things up a bit, won't it?
Yeah, it definitely did, because it looked like E-Legend was the only leader. I think Speed Winner could even cross him if he wants. Super Winner, I should say, could even cross him if he wants to. That will give Storm Rider. Giddy Up's trialled well from the front recently. Magnificent 9, another one going well. So all these horses, I think, will get their opportunity. Talent's Ambitions look good in his trials. He'll just need a little bit of luck to slot in there.
Time for our fishing segment now on the Race by Race preview. Harry talks to Nick about Blue Marlin.
Harry, Blue Marlin is a horse that you've had a pretty good relationship with so far, and he's really developing into quite a nice horse.
He is. He's just gone from strength to strength, really. You know, he took a little bit of settling. He seems to have got better relaxing during his races, and yeah, he's improving.
Just on that point in question, I mean, the fact that, you know, he's taken a bit of time. I mean, he's a big horse, isn't he? And you've had a bit to do with him from an early stage. And he was never the easiest, was he, at the beginning? But he really seems to have sort of, you know, settled down and found out what it's all about being a racehorse.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, he's even behind the stalls. He can just get a little bit fractious. He's getting better with that with time. But yeah, I think once he can just really package it all together, it's just going to show even more improvement. But he's a horse I've always thought will go further when he really switches off. So it might be something for the future.
Talk to me about his win last time, Harry. He had to be tough, and he sort of knuckled down to the task well to beat Superb Boy. And once again, he's drawn a good gate, which is always a blessing for this guy.
It is, yeah. He had a spate of bad draws, which certainly doesn't help his running style. But when he gets a good draw, it helps him get into a nice position and just go through the motions smoothly. So, yeah, as you mentioned, last time was a good run. He really battled it out to the finish, and hopefully he can do the same again.
He's got that decent weight, given his racing is the top rate. I mean, we've spoken about him being a big horse. I guess never ideal, but you know, you're confident that he can carry it and perhaps give them another beating this time in?
That's right. It's never ideal carrying top weight and giving weight away to other horses, but he is a big horse, as we've said, and if anyone can carry the weight, it's him. So I don't see that as a big negative.
That is Harry on Blue Marlin. Here are some of the others in the race. Paul and Storm Rider looks a very good horse in the making. Alfie Chan jumps aboard, so a great opportunity for Alfie in this. And of course, he did wear those colours to victory in Sugar Sugar at Happy Valley on Wednesday night.
Nice ride too, coming on the inside. Look, this horse is really, I've always been with this horse, all 3 starts. He's looked good. Second behind Gorgeous Win, and then he's just keeps sprinting off the front here as well. He should get a nice run with Super Winner coming into the race, so he looks definitely one of the main chances here.
And Run Cool runs 5th in this race for a horse that's noted over 1,000. He actually ran on quite well.
He did, didn't he? And the horses running 2nd and 3rd are running in the previous, so we'll get a gauge on that.
There's a lot of correlation of form right through the meeting at this one on Monday. Superb Kid, last start winner. There he is, just around midfield, turning for home, hooked to the outside and just unwound, beating Sunlight Power, who, speaking of franking form and stuff, has won since this race. He comes into Class 3 again, where he's had 3 starts, and he didn't figure amongst the money, but he did go down in grade and step up in distance for this win.
Yeah, so it was a nice win. I mean, the query is obviously back up into this grade, but he's in form at the moment. He's drawn 11. He's going to have to get well back. This is going to be a lot harder, but you can only win.
You can indeed. That is Superb Kid. Next up, it is Magnificent 9, who's lightly tried, only had the 2 starts. And he gets in with a weight of 121 pounds. First start over 1,400 for him. Giddy Up ran 5th behind I Give in the same race, beaten 4 lengths. He's trialled quite well up at Chung Fa Senses, Giddy Up.
He has. Look, I quite liked him this day, Magnificent 9. I mean, he ran 2nd, so you can't be totally disappointed. But I thought, you know, he should have probably won this race. He sort of came up there, and I mean, it was I Give, isn't it? And then I Give has just been in great form, although he did get beaten last time. But he just kept kicking. So it was still a really good run from him, so I've got to include him again.
And there's a newcomer right down the bottom of the book called Talent's Ambition, who's won a couple of times at the country music capital of Australia in Tamworth. He's had 3 trials. Quiet One's the first 2, then Let Rip here.
Yeah, hopefully we can get the Johnny Cash with this, because his source is going to be at a big price. But I like this trial. That's excellent fighter in front there, and he's a 70 rated horse. He's come into this rated 63. Lightweight on his back. He's unbeaten. He's 2 from 2. The form is a little bit dubious, but did run an age group, a 2-year-old race, and then won an open race. So, look, I'm going to take a chance with him at the lightweight. This might be the time to get him.
Last one in the book in race 11. Who's in 2nd, 3rd, 4th?
Yeah, so we'll make him the long shot, and hopefully we get a really good price about this horse. Deserve to. Storm Rider and Magnificent 9 and Blue Marlin, we've talked about all 3. 14, 6, 13, 1.
11 races. We'll see you for the first at 12:30 on Chinese New Year race day Monday at Sha Tin.